So we just finished doing this problem in example 1 and we used the diagram method to get the answer 1/3. But let's try to apply this formula, the conditional probability formula, to figure out what the answer is. In order to do that, I'm just going to start by using some colors first of all so we can tell who's the first event and who's the second event. I can interpret the question that they asked as follows. Since they want the probability of one other child to be a boy, given that the other child is already a boy, I'm going to call it the probability of one child is a boy red event and the probability of the other child is also a boy in blue. So basically those are my two events. One of them is red, one of them is blue. And I'm looking for a conditional probability. So I'm looking for the probability of one child is a boy given that the other child is a boy. According to the formula, this is equal to the probability of one child is a boy and the other child is also a boy divided by one child is a boy probability. So basically, these events in front will always match. This one on the numerator matches with this one on the denominator. Those are the same event. Okay, so let's try to calculate these probabilities by looking at the diagram that we made earlier. So going back over here, what's the probability of you getting boy and boy? So boy on the first try and boy on the second try. Well, you just multiply the 1/2 by the 1/2 and you get 1/4. What's the probability of you getting a boy then a girl? Well, again, since the probability of getting a boy is 1/2, the probability of getting a girl is 1/2, the answer is going to be 1/4 again. The same thing is true for the bottom part, meaning the probability of a girl slash boy is going to be 1/4 and the probability of girl is going to be also 1/4. So now that we have all these probabilities, let's think about what they're asking us to do. So what are they asking for on the numerator? They're saying we want the probability of one child is a boy and the other child is a boy. So that answer is going to be only 1 divided by 4. There's only one of these events where we have boy, comma, boy. That's the first one. There's only one way to get that. Now, what's the probability of one child is a boy at least? How many events do we have in this diagram where one boy shows up? We have 1, 2, 3 of them. So the probabilities are going to be 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. So the total is 1/4 divided by 3/4, which means that the total is going to be 1/4 times 4/3, which means that the answer is 1/3, exactly like the answer that we already had when we did it the first time using the diagram. So that's kind of like how we use that formula from the bottom of the page.